Tom's story. Tom rattled his bucket and the sheep came running at the sound. Mum spread the chunks of feed in the trough. The skies were cloudy and the air brisk. "What happened to my daddy?" Tom asked. His question came out of the blue. Mum caught her breath for a moment, a little unsure of herself, and they stood, silently looking at one another for answers. "Why am I the only one without a dad?" he said. He looked at his mum, eyes searching for an answer. It had been several weeks since Tom's dad had died. He hadn't really talked about it much, just accepted the changes as they came his way. But he was ready for answers now. His mum knew that his father's death made him different from all the other boys and girls in his class. She wanted to explain it to him, though wasn't sure how to begin. She hesitated. Tom broke the silence with another question. "Mum, what's suicide?" Tom asked. He had heard the word spoken quietly by some adults when they thought he wasn't listening, but one girl had said the word right to his face in school. The teacher was cross with her for saying it. Mum tried to think of a way to explain it. "Dad made himself die," she said, giving him a clear answer. Dad ended his life. Tom watched and listened quietly, so she carried on. "He chose to do it. It's hard for me to understand as well, Tom. I suppose it's a decision that somebody takes when they feel that they can't do anything else. Dad couldn't see another way out," she gently told him. He looked at the ground, thinking, the words jangling around in his head. "How does that make you feel?" Mum asked. He started to cry then. Mum cried too. For a few moments they didn't have any words to say, but Mum held on to him very tightly. Now that Tom had begun to talk about it, Mum encouraged him to say more. "Tom, is there something else that you want to know?" she asked. Mum knew there were always questions, but sometimes it was not always possible to give an answer. There was one really big question that had been on his mind for a while, and now he found a way to say it. "Is there something I did wrong?" said Tom. His words came out softly and anxiously. "No, Tom, I promise you did nothing wrong at all," she replied. Mum took him by both hands and looked at him closely and deeply. "Dad was ill. It was an illness. I don't know why he didn't get help, but I wish that he had. He loved you and wanted you, but the illness was just too much." Mum found that by telling him, she was beginning to better understand it herself. The sheep ate hungrily. Mum gave herself a few moments to think. She found another way to explain it. "Look at that bucket you are carrying," she said. "Imagine we all carry a bucket. In it we store all our thoughts and feelings and worries, and every time we have an unhappy thought or worry, it's added to the bucket. The bucket can become heavy and too hard to carry." She continued, "Imagine how it must weigh down on your arms and shoulders. You would feel so tired carrying that bucket as it becomes more and more full. The thought of carrying it again tomorrow and the next day would be hard to face. Dad's bucket was too full and he didn't know how to empty it. It weighed him down." Thinking about it made them both feel very upset. "We all struggle sometimes, Tom," she added. "So it's really important to find a way to cope. We have to find a way of emptying out all of those heavy, sad feelings. Imagine there's a tap on the bucket. We just need to know how to turn it on. Do you understand what I'm saying?" He nodded quietly, accepting her explanation. "Do you know what to do when your bucket feels full, Tom? Do you know how to empty it?" she asked. He shook his head, looking to her for help. When you feel sad, angry or upset, you need to find things to do to cope with those feelings. What are your favourite things to do? She gave him some time to think. I like feeding the sheep. Oh, football. I like football, he began. Good, that's good, Tom. You can go outside and get some fresh air or do some drawing. Some days you'll find it hard because that bucket will feel full and heavy, but you must always push yourself to turn on that tap. I have to as well. Some days it is really hard for me. Remember, Tom, it's so important to talk about your feelings because that can help too. He took his chance then. There was another question troubling him, making it hard for him to think about anything else. Is this going to happen to you as well, Mum? I don't want you to die. I'm afraid that you will do the same thing as Dad, he said. The sorrow ached in his voice. It was too much and he cried again then. Mum put her arm around him and pulled him close. She just had to be honest with him, to make him understand. Some days I feel sad and angry just like you, but remember what I said about the bucket. I'm getting better at managing. We have to carry on, she said. Life doesn't stop, Tom. There are still birthdays, you still go to school, and sometimes we'll go to the beach or visit friends, she explained. But I'll be here with you. He seemed reassured by that. It was hard not knowing what to expect. It's not going to be easy, because when you go to sleep and then wake up, you might forget what's happened, and then you have to face it all again. Getting out of bed and remembering it is so difficult, and we will need to be strong to start each morning, she continued. But over time, we'll get better at facing each day. We'll get better at living our new life, and we can sometimes just sit and think about Dad. Or we might cry, or say what we liked best about him. And we are going to be okay, Tom. Her words were warm and gentle. Together they fell into a comfortable silence. The sheep bleated in the next field. He glanced at the empty bucket at his feet, a reminder that there were still animals to feed. His footsteps felt a little lighter as he made his way to the shed with Mum.